Shalom, welcome back to the sequential Kitvei Ha'ari series. Chapter 3 of Sha'ar HaKelalim is called Sot Ha'ibur Veyenikah, the secret of conception and nursing. The Ari is not speaking about physical pregnancy only. He is using the image of pregnancy to describe how a spiritual structure becomes capable of life. A world does not become repaired all at once. A soul does not become mature all at once. Even holiness has stages. First, something is hidden. Then it is formed. Then it is born. Then it must be nourished until it can stand. The chapter opens with the word ibur, which means conception, pregnancy, or gestation. The Ari breaks the word into hints. He reads within it Ayin Bet, meaning 72, and Reis Yud Vav, meaning 216. Ayin Bet belongs to the right side, the side of Hesed, kindness. Reis Yud Vav belongs to the left side, the side of Gevurah, strength and judgment. Already the word Ibur contains a union of right and left. Mercy and restraint are being held together inside the hidden womb of Ima. The supernal mother, meaning Bina. This is very important. Formation happens in hiddenness. Before something can come out into the open, it must first be gathered inward. Before a person can speak clearly, something must be conceived in silence. Before the soul can act with strength, its forces must be arranged inside. Ibur is not inactivity. Ibur is invisible construction. Then the Ari says there are three kinds of Ibur. There is an Ibur of 7 months, an Ibur of 9 months, and an Ibur of 12 months. Again, this is not only about physical time. It is a language of spiritual formation. The Ibur of 9 months belongs to Zeir Anpin, meaning the small face, the emotional structure of the world, the configuration of the 6 lower midot. During this Ibur, there is a state called Telat Go Telat, 3 inside 3. The lower 3, Netzach, Hod, and Yesod, meaning endurance, splendor, and foundation, are included inside the upper 3, Hesed, Gevurah, and Tiferet, meaning kindness, strength, and beauty. Each of the lower 3 is included in the upper 3. 3 times 3 becomes 9. This is why the Ari says 9 months are needed. The image is simple, but very deep. When a person is immature, the lower powers of action are not yet independent. The legs of the soul, the ability to move, endure, and express are folded inside the heart. Netzach, Hod, and Yesod are not yet fully visible. They are included within Hesed, Gevurah, and Tiferet. The soul has movement inside it, but it is not yet walking outward. The Ibur of 7 months belongs to Arih Anpin, meaning the long face, the vast root of patience and divine extension. Here, the Ari speaks about the lower parts of Arih Anpin being included in the upper parts, so that Zeir Anpin and Nukva, the feminine counterpart, can later clothe and cover the exposed lower sections. The lower half of Tiferet, because it already belongs partly to the upper body, needs only 1 month of inclusion. Netzach and Hod need to be included in the 3 upper midot, so they require 6 more. 1 plus 6 becomes 7. This is why the Ari connects Moshe Rabbeinu, Moses, our teacher, with birth at 7 months. Moshe is rooted in Tiferet, the inner line of harmony and Torah. The Zohar says, Moshe Milgavo, Moses is from within, while Yaakov Milbar, Jacob is from the outside. Moshe is inward Tiferet. Yaakov is associated with Yesod, the outward channel. The Ari is showing that souls too have roots in different parts of the spiritual body. Some souls come from the inner line, some from the outer channel, some are born from 7, some from 9, some from a deeper process of 12. The Ibur of 12 months belongs to Malchut, the kingdom, the feminine vessel, the receiving presence. The Ari connects this to the phrase Ve'achar Yalda Bat, and afterward she bore a daughter. The initials of Va'achar Yalda Bat hint to Yud Bet, 12. The daughter comes after 12 months because Malchut requires an additional formation. First, the lower 3 are included in the middle 3, making 9. Then, Malchut herself must be included in the 3 middle qualities, adding 3 more. 9 plus 3 becomes 12. Here, the Ari gives us a tremendous spiritual pattern. Zeir Anpin can be born after the structure of the 6 directions has been formed. But Malchut, the power of manifestation, takes longer. The vessel that receives and expresses everything requires more patience. To bring light down into real life, into speech, action, prayer, and earthly presence, the formation must become even more complete. Then the Ari returns to the story of Tikkun, repair. When the lower parts of Arih Anpin rose into the middle parts, the best and clearest lights from the Manin Tevirin, the broken vessels, also rose with them. These are the remains of the world of Nekudot, the world of points, after Sefirat Hakelim, the shattering of the vessels. In the womb of Ima, the clearer light is separated and arranged. From this clarified light, the Partzuf of Zeir Anpin begins to be made. The Ari says each broken point contained 10 Sefirot. When Arich Anpin, Abba, and Ima were repaired, the most refined light rose and became the substance of those higher Partzuvim. But some light remained. It was not evil in essence. It was simply heavier, thicker, less refined, not yet able to rise into Abba and Ima, the levels of Hokmah and Bina, wisdom and understanding. Yet what was too heavy for Abba and Ima could still be fitting for Zeir Anpin. This is one of the deepest mercies in the chapter. A level that cannot yet belong to the highest place may still have a place in a lower tikkun. Not everything that cannot rise all the way is rejected. Some things are gathered into the next structure down, where they can still be refined and used. The Ari calls this Ochel mitoch psolet, food from within waste. The food is the usable spark. The waste is what cannot yet be joined to holiness. From the upper three aspects of each of the 7 broken points, the Reisha de Zeir Anpin, the head of Zeir Anpin, is formed. This includes the Mohin, the mental lights called Keter, Hokmah, and Bina. Even in the womb, the fetus has a head. Even before full expression, there is already a hidden root of consciousness. After that, the body of Zeir Anpin is formed from the next 4 aspects: Hesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, and Netzach. These become the body, the emotional and active structure. But the last 3, Hod, Yesod, and Malchut, are not yet fully clarified. They remain for the time of Yenikah, nursing. Why? Because the lower the level, the more the klipa, the shell, can cling to it. The lower vessels are closer to manifestation, and therefore closer to mixture, struggle, and concealment. Then the Ari reads the Torah's law of childbirth in this mystical light. When the Torah says that if a woman gives birth to a male, she is tamei, ritually impure, for 7 days. The Ari connects this to the 7 aspects clarified in Zeir Anpin: Keter, Hokmah, Bina, Hesed, Gevurah, Tiferet, and Netzach. At birth, what has been clarified emerges as life, but the dinim, the judgments, and unclarified residue are expelled as well. This is the secret of Dam Nidah, the blood of separation. It represents the leftover judgment from the 7 aspects. Therefore, the period is 7 days, corresponding to 7 klipot, 7 shells. But if a female is born, the Torah gives 14 days. The Ari explains that this is because there are 7 shells from the previous clarification, and 7 more connected to Malchut, the feminine vessel. Nukva, the feminine configuration, comes after the clarification of the male structure, and therefore has an additional layer of sorting. 14 is 7 and 7. This language is very strong, and it has to be heard spiritually. The Ari is not reducing womanhood to impurity. He is reading the Torah's laws as symbols of cosmic sorting. Birth brings life, but birth also releases residue. Whenever a holy form emerges, something unclarified is pushed out. This happens in the worlds, and it happens in the human soul. When a person is born into a new level, old judgments may surface. The appearance of dinim does not mean the birth failed. It may mean the birth is happening. Then comes Yenikah, nursing. This is one of the most beautiful images in the chapter. The Ari says that just as the blood of Nidah is transformed into milk for the nursing mother, so too the unclarified parts that remain from Hod, Yesod, and Malchut are sweetened inside Ima. At first, they were dinim, judgments, in the form of blood. But because there was still food inside the vase, they were not expelled at birth. They remain within Ima to be clarified over time. Then the good within them became halaf, milk. In the language of the soul, halaf, milk, is softened judgment. It is din, transformed into nourishment. What could not be used at birth becomes usable through patience, sweetness, and nursing. Ima feeds Zeir Anpin with this milk so that he becomes complete in all his extremities. The time of nursing is 24 months. Why 24? Because Hod, Yesod, and Malchut each need 8 months of sweetening. Each one includes the 7 higher qualities within itself, plus its own place, making 8. 3 times 8 becomes 24. Through these 24 months, the 3 that were folded inside the 3 expand, and Zeir Anpin grows into the 6 Ketzavot, the 6 directions. The Ari gives the image of a child. A child may already have legs, but he cannot walk with them yet. Through nursing, the legs grow stronger, and then he begins to walk. In the same way, Zeir Anpin already has the root of movement, but the lower powers are not yet revealed. Nursing strengthens the hidden legs of the spiritual body, and the Ari adds something very subtle. Netzach was already clarified during Ibur, but because Netzach and Hod are like 2 halves of one body, the revelation of Netzach is delayed until Hod is clarified through nursing. One side cannot fully appear while its counterpart is still trapped. The right leg waits for the left leg. In the soul, this means one quality may be ready, but its expression depends on another quality being healed. The chapter then goes into the secret of halaf, milk, through the names Eheyeh, Elohim, Shaddai, and El Elyon. Eheyeh is the divine name associated here with Ima, the mothering power of Binah. Elohim is the name of measure and judgment. Shaddai is connected to the Shaddayim, the breast, the channels of nursing. Dadayim means breasts, and the Ari connects this to the mystery of Eidat and Meidat, reading them as Eldat and Midat, the right and left breasts of Binah. When Ima is nursing the children, she is called El Shaddai, the divine name of nourishing sufficiency. When the nursing is complete and the child is weaned, she is called El Elyon, God Most High, and Gomel Chasadim Tovim, the one who bestows good kindness. The word Gomel also hints to being weaned, like Vayigdal, Hayelet, Vayigamal. The child grew and was weaned. So the movement of the chapter is very clear. First, there is Ibur, hidden formation. Then there is birth, emergence and separation. Then there is Yenika, nourishment and growth. And beneath all of it is Birur, clarification, separating food from waste, light from shell, usable spark from unready residue. This is the work of the worlds, and it is also the work of the soul. Some parts of us are ready to be born. Some parts still need to remain in Ima, in the deep place of understanding, until they can be sweetened. Some judgments should not be forced out too early. They need to be transformed from dam into halaf, from blood into milk, from harshness into nourishment. This also changes how we look at our own spiritual struggle. A person may think, if I still have harshness, fear, impatience, or confusion, then I must be far from holiness. But the Ari is showing a more delicate picture. Some harsh material is not meant to be thrown away immediately. It may contain food inside it. It may contain a spark that can only become useful after it passes through Ima, through understanding, prayer, time, and softened judgment. The tikkun of this chapter is patience with holy development. Do not despise the womb. Do not despise the hidden months. Do not despise the nursing period. Not every delay is rejection. Sometimes delay is the mercy that allows the vessel to grow. The Blessed One forms the soul in stages, and each stage has its own light. In Ibur, the light is hidden. In birth, the light emerges. In Yenikah, the light becomes nourishment. And when the lower powers are finally sweetened, the soul begins to stand, walk, and serve God with a more complete body. Shalom.